In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I helped one of my clients go from doing a couple $1,000s a month in his business within under 2 years doing over $100,000 months. And if the gentleman wanted to sell his company right now, he could probably sell it for, I don't know, 5 to 8 million, maybe even more. I really don't know. And I want to share this because there's going to be some application to you in your life and how you can remove your limitations and quickly go to the next level. So about 2.5 years ago, I'm actually, as a matter of fact, the reason I'm making this video is because I'm on the way to dinner right now to celebrate his success. So my buddy just opened up a location here, Toehold Flip-Flops here in Vegas, and we're going to dinner to celebrate. So a couple years ago, my buddy, he was working a job at a jiu-jitsu gym, and he wasn't making a lot of money. And he had a side business making Toehold flip-flops. Many of you probably know what that is. If you don't, he makes custom flip-flops out of exotic leathers. So alligator, ostrich, elephant, and it's all ethically sourced leather, and he sells them for thousands of dollars. So my buddy is no longer working at a jiu-jitsu gym, and he's like, man, should I find a job or what should I do? I told him, I said, look, bro, if you go find a job, your business will never take off. You have to go all in on your business. It has to be 100%. You have to be obsessed night and day if you really want to take it to the next level. And so I said, look, let's do this. Let's do a session around let's figure out what mental blocks you have that are holding you back from taking that leap of faith. So we do a session, and this is what we discovered. So my buddy, he grew up in a rough neighborhood in Southern California down in Oceanside, which is near San Diego. And growing up in this neighborhood, he saw a lot of violence, a lot of death, M words, M-U-R-D-E, you know the rest. I don't want to get canceled on YouTube or get my YouTube video strike. So anyways, as a kid, there was this defining moment. He was about 5 years old. He was at his grandfather's house, and they hear this banging on the door in the middle of the night. Bang, 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 bang. And it was a guy screaming bloody murder for his life. And he was screaming, help me, help me. He stabbed me, he stabbed me. So long story short, the guy ends up bleeding to death in his grandfather's rocking chair right there in front of the house. Now, apparently there was something that happened in the street right out front. The guy got stabbed and he was looking for help, but he bled out and died. Now, as a 5-year-old kid, my buddy, my client, saw all this happen. And he didn't realize it at the time until we did this session, but he developed this belief that, you know what, I could die tomorrow, so what's the point in building anything long term, right? If I could die tomorrow, I might as well live for today. And so throughout his entire life, he worked all these different jobs. You talk to this guy, he has a story for every freaking job. You're driving around Vegas, I used to work there, I used to work there, I used to work there, because he was never building anything long term. So after we removed the limiting beliefs from his subconscious mind, this is what happened. And by the way, some of you are probably listening to this thinking, well, Dom, I didn't grow up in a rough neighborhood. This doesn't really apply to me. But it does, and here's why. We all have our own limitations and our own belief systems that we don't realize are subconsciously holding us back. That just happened to be his. Maybe yours is similar. Maybe it's completely different. But until we remove those limitations, we cannot go any faster and go to our goals. So the example I always give to people is, imagine a governor in a car, right? The car has the ability to go 160 miles an hour, but if the governor stops it at 95, it doesn't matter. You will not go any faster. Well, we all have these unconscious governors in our minds that hold us back from going from where we want to be, from where we're at to where we want to be. Even myself, I'm constantly working with people, whether it's one of my coaches or somebody helping me work through my own limitations as they start to come up. So I want to say within 6 to 8 weeks after removing this limiting belief, he ends up getting in contact with this gentleman, Brian Callen. He's a really famous comedian. Yeah, this freaking, oh well, I'm just going to make it. I'm going to run it anyways. It's a really famous comedian, and he's like one of Joe Rogan's best friends, and he's been in the movie The Hangover, all this kind of stuff, right? So long story short, he ends up partnering with him, and within 6 months after that, he gets his flip-flops, Toehold flip-flops, endorsed on the Joe Rogan podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Joe Rogan literally said, These are the best flip-flops I've ever made. Huge, I mean, you can't really get a bigger endorsement than that, right? So fast forward, he keeps building the company, he partners with all these different people, and now he's built a dream team, as well as it's the only company that does what he does at the level that he does. It's literally the only one in the world. And you guys will see over the coming years, this will be a multi-10, 50, maybe even beyond $1 million company. I mean, this has the potential to be hundreds of millions of dollars, be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It's basically like the Louis Vuitton of flip-flops. That's what it is. It's the highest end quality you could possibly get. And so let me share with you, by the way, guys, as you're listening to this, I want you to comment down below, like this video if you're liking this kind of information, if you like when I share stories with you like this. And although I'm not hypnotizing you or anything, what happens is when I share stories, you don't realize it, but subconsciously stuff starts to come up to the surface. And you start to think, man, maybe my childhood did affect me and I didn't even realize it. You know, what limiting beliefs do I have? And as I ask you these questions, you will hear these limiting beliefs bubble up from your subconscious into your conscious mind. So do me a favor, comment in the comments so I can help you guys. Comment what your goals are and what you feel may be some of your limitations. Is it like you believe you're not good enough, you don't deserve it? You have the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of rejection. Comment down below, that way I can make content and I'll respond to your comments to help you guys really go to that next level. Now, the way that we identify, and I'll give you a brief summary of how we helped him identify what this is so you can start to think about it and apply it in your own life, is we ask his subconscious mind different questions. You know, we ask him questions like, hey, how does your mother relate to what's going on now? How does your father relate to what's going on now? How does your childhood relate to what's going on now? You know, when was the first time this happened? And what are other times where a similar scenario happened? Because believe it or not, guys, most people are just unconsciously living out patterns in their lives today as adults that they've lived in their childhood. It's just the same pattern, whether it's their relationships, it's their health, it's their finances, it's patterns that they learned or even patterns that were passed down genetically. So when you start asking yourself those questions like, hey, yeah, how does my childhood relate to what I'm going through now? You'll start to get these reference points and these limiting beliefs, and then what you can discover is why your subconscious mind is still holding on to this, and then what you can do to let this go, okay? So guys, if you're a business owner and this is resonating with you, you're like, Dom, I'm making 6 figures and I want to go to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures. There's something in my head that's keeping me stuck. I don't know what it is. If that's you, what I want you to do is book a consultation with my team. It's a free consultation, and we're gonna do a deep dive to figure out what are some of these things that are holding you back, just like I did with my buddy. Now, only book this consultation if you are a full-time 6-figure and up business owner. That's all I work with. And the reason why is because if you're not a full-time business owner, it's gonna be very hard for your business to be successful. And number 2, if you haven't figured out how to make 6 figures in 2024, it's gonna, this is how I explain it to people. Bill Belichick does not work with Pop Warner kids. He may donate, give free information like I'm giving here, but he works with the best. And that's how I am. I work with the best entrepreneurs in the world to help them succeed. So if that's you, go down to the description and book a consultation. Now, if you're somebody who's like, Dom, I would love to learn how to hypnotize myself. I would love, if you have, maybe you are a business owner, like, dude, what if I could hypnotize my team? Like, imagine if I could hypnotize my team to remove their limiting beliefs and my sales team, and like how much better the entire company would perform. Or maybe you're somebody who's like, wow, I would really love to do what you do, Dom. There's gonna be a free training down in the description so you can learn how you can learn how to hypnotize anybody, anywhere, anytime. So if that sounds and that resonates with you, go down in the description and get access to the free training. All right, guys, so hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. See you guys in the next video.